Welcome to the Love the Stags podcast, March version. Thanks to the Devon Hotel for the ongoing support of the Central Stags. Got a good contingent of us here today. We've got Toole, myself, Brad Schmulian, Jayden Lennox, Dean Foxcroft, Heaphy, Dane Cleaver, Toby, Findlay and William Clark. A few questions to get through today, boys, so I'll get straight into it. We're here at Nelson Park, 21st edition of Hooked on Cricket. A big driver for the NZCPA to give back to the communities. So we'll start with you, Jayden. Why is it important, you think, Hooked on Cricket keeps going, and who are you in charge of today? What school are you with?
I'm in charge of Henry Hill number 1, one of the premier local teams. Unfortunately, we're 1-1 so far, so looking to rectify our ledger in the third game. But I think Hooked on Cricket is really important just to, I suppose, give opportunities to some of the schools that don't necessarily get that much exposure to the game. So to open their eyes to a new sport that's not, I suppose, traditional in those kind of schools especially.
Dane Cleaver, your thoughts on that? Who are you in charge of today and why is it important to keep it going?
I've got Mariwa. Got that right. We've had a good day so far. Got some really talented kids and I just echo Jayden's thoughts really. It's just a great opportunity to see the kids out there in the sunshine in the lovely Hawke's Bay. Probably showcasing our sport in a good light and getting lots of different schools involved, and it's awesome for the Stags to actually be there and supporting and providing our expertise to the day, which is cool.
And Toby, you're in the final. Who are you with? And
what? What do you mean what? I've got the best school here, Nelson Park School. I remember playing a lot out on Nelson Park here for Nelson Park School. So to be coaching them today, it's pretty cool experience, and I'm sure they all love it just as much as I did.
Awesome. We'll move on to our next topic. In the last podcast, we talked about the World Cup and who we thought would be in the final. We all picked India, but no one backed New Zealand. We all said South Africa and England. You didn't, Toby.
I did.
Did you? We'll have to go back and listen.
Well, I had them in the semi. I can't remember
exactly.
the final. No. I think I did have them in the final.
So obviously the tournament started. New Zealand are also making the final. I don't think anyone could have beaten India in the final. But a couple of questions about that. Who was your player of the tournament for New Zealand and player of the tournament overall? We'll go Dean Foxcroft. Who are your best two players? One for New Zealand and one for the tournament.
One for New Zealand, probably going to be Seifert. He had a good tournament up at the top. I think him and Finn were quite dangerous at the top, so the way he put pressure on the bowlers and sort of helped the team and get him in a good position off the power play. And then for the tournament, obviously Sandy Sampson got it, but I reckon Will Jacks from England were up there. I think it's a spinner. He played a lot of games in Sri Lanka though, but which helped a little bit with the spinning conditions. But the way he helped England to sort of win the games at the back end of the tournament were quite good. So I think he had an outstanding tournament.
Cutie, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to go Seifert's other partner, Finn, for best player for New Zealand. Obviously explosive, had an awesome tournament with striking the massive strike rate. And then for in the tournament, I'm going to go with Bomber. Obviously playing on some pretty flat wickets at small grounds, and then to pick 4 for up in the final, I guess Scotland across the line. So he's my player of the tournament.
Cool. Well, Clark, I'll jump to you. A slightly different question. What was your surprise of the tournament? Like personally, it was Brian Bennett from Zimbabwe, averaging 100 plus or something. And who was your surprise package, player or team or anything that happened?
Yeah, see, I wouldn't say he's as much a surprise to me. He got to score 100 against England. However, I'd say I think the surprise was definitely the Canadian guy. I think he was 19.
Yuvraj Shamra.
There it is, Shamra. Opening and batting and scoring 100 against New Zealand. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's a serious surprise. I don't know if they've got a grass wicket in Canada, so to go see that was awesome.
All right, move on to our next one, and pretty much if you on social media and you like cricket, you would have seen this a lot recently. The great man Brad Randell, world first with 5 and 5. Question is, I guess, what were the emotions and feelings that you felt when you were witnessing this, guys? And secondly, who in the world do you think would repeat that who would be next to get it if you had to choose someone, put your money on someone? We'll go with you, Ray. What were your emotions when you're witnessing the great man Brett Randell take 5? And who would be your pick? You can say yourself if you want as well.
My emotions were, what ball am I bowling with at this end? No, it's just unreal. I think it's just like one of those where you just have that, oh, surely not. Then the next ball you're like, oh, surely not. And you know, you go 3, then 4, and then 5. But yeah, it was just one of those where you go, it's crazy. Yeah. No words.
Well, who do you think is going to repeat it if you had to pick someone?
I'd love it to be me, but
next week.
You can't see doing that.
Next week.
Jasprit or Starkey, potentially.
Nice. We'll go back to you, Jayden. What were you feeling when you were listening to that?
Well, I think it was just one of those things that you feel like you're part of something really special when, I don't know, when something freakish happens like that, you never really quite believe it until you sit down in the changing room afterwards and sort of catch your breath and look around and everyone's almost giggling because they're just part of something that obviously nobody's ever witnessed in history. And yeah, I think if somebody else is to do it again, it can probably only be Jasprit Palmer, if I'm honest. It seems like he's probably somebody that can run right through a team pretty quickly, but off the top of my head, can't think of anybody else.
I know personally when it was all unfolding, it was one of those where you just at an absolute high, and a couple of hours later, it felt like we played 5 days of cricket. It was a real emotional roller coaster in a good way. But Danny, were you feeling similar towards the back end of that day, where it felt like we'd been there for days just because of the emotions and the energy that we were all, I guess, giving to the situation, and then felt a bit flat those last few hours?
Yeah, definitely. I think you summed it up well there. It was such a high that it's pretty hard to stay up there forever. So when you come back down, it feels like you've come right down. So yeah, no, it was pretty special. I think the coolest part of it is, you know, the reason why we play the game is for those big moments, championship that have been won, amazing performances by your mates. And I think like the coolest thing is in 10 years time we'll be having a beer and looking back to that day at McLean Park where that happened and we were all there to witness it. And I think that's the cool thing, is just another memory made to I suppose look back on, tell your kids about or whatever later down the line, which is sort of why we play the game. So that was pretty special.
Good stuff. We'll move into a few different sports now. A few apparent experts in rugby league have been popping up. One, Dean Foxcroft, who's on the fantasy NRL train. So I guess season just started, the NRL, into I think week 2 after the round in Vegas. So first of all, who are we picking to lift the trophy? Obviously the Panthers the last few years and the Broncos last year. Broncos 0-2 as of last night. So who are we picking to lift the trophy this year, and what team do you support? Foxy, we know you're an avid fan. Not sure you can probably name 2 teams in the NRL, but what do you think, mate? Who do you support?
Well, my fantasy team is going well. It's 1-1 against Angus Shaw, so first year in it, I'll take it. Obviously, South Africa, Rugby League's not a thing there, so but I'm getting there, so obviously up the wise, supporting them. But I'm backing the Melbourne Storm. Cam Munster's my captain of my team, so I've got to go with him.
Yeah. You know any other players in the Melbourne Storm, or just Cam Munster?
Just Cam Munster.
Yeah.
Billy Slater.
Toby, you're an NRL fan, or not so much?
Probably the same amount of idea as Dean here. But yeah, again up the wise. Other than that, no idea, sorry.
Kiddis?
Not it. Jeez, I'll take the moment.
Wow, okay.
I'm not sure how you can support an Aussie team.
Exactly.
From New Zealand. I don't get this obsession with supporting Australian teams.
We have a few Eel supporters in the group. Tom Bruce and Bailey Wiggins, who keep pretty quiet unless they win. I noticed last night Bailey Wiggins got the post on.
Leno's apparently a good one.
His whole team is just
Rooster players.
But I hope the Warriors go well this year. Great start last week, and they're playing the Raiders, who I think won last week, so hopefully they'll be 2-0. But yeah, personally, I think the Panthers or the Storm looking pretty good, but I expect the Broncos to get back and make the top 8, maybe.
Maybe.
Well, 0-2s.
Afterwards.
Cool, we're moving to rugby, which obviously got a game at McLean Park today, Hurricanes versus the Western Force. In cricket, we just get random numbers. Obviously in rugby, they represent a position. We'll go around the group and just ask, what does your player number mean to you, or is it just completely random? Curdy, we'll start with you, mate. What's your number, and does it have any meaning?
I wear number 2. It didn't really have too much of a meaning when I first started wearing it, but then now I've seen Johnny Manziel wear number 2. So
Who is Johnny Manziel?
American footballer. So I'll say I wear it because of him.
Cool. Razor?
Similar lifestyle, eh?
What's yours, Razor?
I wear number 11. I hadn't worn it previously before, but it was the first number I got when I played for CD, so it's become pretty special for me now.
Foxy?
Well, I used to be 11 in Otago, then moved over here, and then Rachel got it. So I'm 28. The reason behind that is my number for the Blackets was 28 because there was no other number available. So then I'm like, I'll just stay with 28. That's nothing special behind it. Well, obviously, Blackets, but yeah.
Anyone else have any meaningful numbers, or we just...
Not for this season, but I've actually been thinking about my number for next season.
Say it.
And it's actually just 6'7". Yeah, I think it's quite a beautiful number. A lot of meaning to me. 6'7". It's like join it together. I don't know how it will work.
What does that mean?
Probably 67.
Yeah, it just means a lot to me. I'm not 100% sure why, but it just comes to me a lot. I always say it. So yeah, 6'7".
Very good. Awesome. Moving to our last question, boys. Obviously, the last couple of weeks of the season, a little bit of club cricket around, last 2-4 days. Then into potential some A trips with the boys. What are our winter plans? And yeah, whereabouts in the world are we going to be, or we're staying put? We'll start with you, William Clark.
Yeah, I'm back to London. I'll be with Bromley Common again. Not sure. I think I'm living in like the Lewisham area, so more kind of east or southeast. But yeah, that'll be my plans. Yeah.
Toby, I hear you were off to South America, but you got cold feet. What's the go?
Yeah, well, I was going to go to South America, or Central America actually, and go travelling a bit, but I've just been offered a gig in the UK, so yeah, still unsure, yet to decide. Probably make that decision last minute, but yeah, a couple options.
Dane, usually working hard in the Hawke's Bay. What are your plans for the winter?
Yes, no, I'll just be hunkering down. 3 kids to look after, so I'll be working as a financial advisor, and yeah, just a bit of training on the side and keep myself busy. But no, looking forward to a nice winter.
Very good. Anyone else have anything interesting to add on the winter front? As I said, hopefully some representative cricket for New Zealand A. But very good. I do have actually one more question, boys. We'll finish off on a positive note. Obviously, a couple of weeks ago, we won the Ford Trophy. Second time in about 3 or 4 years, so going pretty well on that front. What was your moment of the campaign, boys? Could be personal, team thing, or could be anything. We'll start with you, Jayden.
I think probably the one moment was probably seeing us under pressure in the final when Henry Nicholls and Tom Latham put on a pretty big partnership, and then to scrap back and walk off the field feeling like we had some real ascendancy, and then to go out there and chase it in a pretty clinical fashion was, I suppose, a couple of hours of really, really hard-fought cricket that we felt like we were sort of looking for a long part of the season, and then for it to all click for a couple of hours in the final and win was certainly something really special.
Awesome. Foxy, you're going to have the final word here, mate. What was your moment of that successful campaign?
Mine was probably the round in Otago. We only got like 220 and they were going nicely, and we sort of put it back and won by 3 or 4 runs. And yeah, I think Youngie said like afterwards, like, these are the games that get you in the final. So yeah, that's what we did. So I would say that's probably the perfect moment. Yeah.
Spot on. That's all we've got for today. So thank you very much for listening, and we'll tune in again shortly.